Hey everybody. Thank you for your patience. I just been very busy pooping. Lots and lots of pooping over the weekend. Pooping at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 6 o'clock this morning. I don't know, there's something wrong with my GI tract. And then I was like super gassy. Like I was like doing these weird burps where it's like, and then these really big farts. I don't know what's going on. I had Aloha Kitchen on, I think Thursday or Friday, and I think that might have triggered it. I like the Manapua. I had the Manapua, Sherry did not. And so Manapua is just like a little, basically like a little loaf of bread with some sweet and savory meat inside. It's good. We used to get them in Hawaii, and it's a nice little Hawaiian treat that I like. But so anyways, I've just been busy with that, and then also orders over the weekend, and I wanted to do I don't want to say a rebuttal to the interview that Bass Dad and Big D Wiz did about me. They basically, it was just a trash show where they said that I was crazy, and the reason I don't show my face is because I'm crazy or I say crazy things. And what's funny is if you go look at the comments, hopefully he didn't erase them. Bass Dad, I basically just reached out to him in the comment section, and I said, it would have been great if you just would have like asked me, like I would have answered your questions. You said like, hey, I'm doing an interview with Derek. Do you have anything to, comment on? Something like that. That's what a good journalist does. That's what a professional does. And then even if you don't do that ahead of time, if you have the interview on tape, you can make the video private and then just send me the link and say, hey, would you review this, and then give me your comments on it. I want to represent your perspective as well. Bass Dad didn't do that, and so I made my comment. I'll let you reach in there and see that. And it's funny, one of the things that they talked about was how I called Big D racist, and I don't remember calling him racist. I said I thought that was racist, or I asked the question, is that racist, or something like that. Even if I did call him a racist, so what? People call me a goddamn child rapist all the time. What am I supposed to do about it? Okay, but one of probably the biggest things that sort of got me was the way that Big D acts like. See, in country music, it's called aw shucks, right? And Garth Brooks is probably the king of aw shucks. And what aw shucks is when you're famous or you're notorious or whatever, and then somebody interviews or says something about you or compliments you, and you just go, aw shucks, I'm just a regular guy. And it's a weird thing with Derek, because what's hilarious is he thinks that his videos are because of his formula of production, and that's not it at all. He just happened to be in the right place at the right time, doing something that apparently needed to be addressed, and nobody else was addressing it. And he got some momentum, and he's got some followers. Good for him. No, what he does is it takes way too long to do what he does. And again, I did my whole critique on that. You can go back, I'll put a link in the description. You can watch my critique video, and it's actually very deadpan and very factual. The only part, and it had me laughing out loud, was where I talk about how I felt like Big D Wiz didn't honor the children that made that amplifier. That was, of course, a joke. And it was hilarious that I say a deadpan, and I had myself cracking up big time about it. Whatever. It was meant to shine the light on a lot of the hypocrisy that I see with Derek. And again, Derek's going to do what Derek's going to do. What I found entertaining about it in the interview was the way that he acted like an injured princess, where it's like, well, basically, it reminded me of the scene from Pretty Woman where I forget what part of it is, near the end, and Julia Roberts is like, I say when, I say who, and that's what Big D was. We're not fighting over whether or not Big D is a prostitute. We're just fighting over how much he wants to get paid for the product placement or for the mention. one of the other things that I wanted to clear up was, actually, let me go back a little bit. So the Big D Wiz started a Facebook forum, and I think it was maybe it was an online forum, I don't remember, and it was like basically old school audio. And so anyways, he started that one on Facebook, and I thought it was a really great idea. I'm actually banned from it, by the way, which I find hilarious, because I'm like one of the biggest contributing members in the community on support for especially the Orion and ADS stuff. When Orion and PPI and ADS dropped the ball on the transition when they sold out in 2003, I was there at the auction. I'm the one that downloaded all the manuals. I got schematics. I talked to engineers. I got inside information. I shared that with everybody. I sold all the stickers and everything below market value. I've performed over 10,000, actually tens of thousands of transactions. I would love to see how many transactions that Base Dad has performed, and also how many that Big D has performed. I've also, worked in the car audio industry for Lightning Audio, Rockford Fosgate, and did the Orion auction, and again talked to founders and engineers, Bernie Boland, Rick Fix and his brother, but lots of people, and had many conversations with these people, inside information. And Big D Wiz is he's a fan. He's a consumer. He's a enthusiast. Again, I don't want to take away from his viewership. He totally earned his viewership. I do have a problem that he's like, both him and Base Dad are like, Patrick's got a following now. Like I don't deserve it. Like, I've been working my ass off, sharing things that nobody else shares, doing things that nobody else does, all for a price that nobody else provides. And again, I'm not nice, right? I'm not sweet. I don't want to kiss your ass. I don't want to do any of that. And that's one of the gross things that I find about Derek and his persona that he shows online. Anyways, go back to Big D Wiz and how things got the way they did, which was that I donated car audio magazines and some other stuff to Derek in the car audio museum or whatever he was doing. One of the things that got me, though, was, of course, when he basically said he didn't have time to review the amps, which I was like, whatever, I don't want to judge him. And then, of course, in the interview with Base Dad, he says that, I don't think my viewers would want to see this. Like, that's his judgment. So I'm like, that's fine too. That's his opinion. Why he does a review on a 30-year-old Sony amplifier that nobody owns, I don't know. But he gets to pick when, he gets to pick who. Okay, so that's his business. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I also didn't take it personal that he shot me down. That wasn't it. What got me, and again, this is what just piqued my interest, because at the time, Big D Wiz had a squeaky clean, aw shucks kind of, reputation. What happened was, he contacted me. I forget it was by text or by phone or whatever. Maybe I gotta look through to see if I still have the Facebook messages. But basically, he said he couldn't do it, didn't want to do it, whatever, doesn't matter. And then he would send them back. And I said, that's great, thank you. Here's my address. Month go by, nothing. I contact him again. Hey, can you send those back to me? That would be great. Thanks. Yes, I will send them back. Great, thanks. Another month goes by, nothing. And then I think it was either on the second or the third time that I asked him that he finally sent them back. So it's not that he didn't do the review, it was just that he didn't keep his word. That's all. And he didn't negotiate for something. He wasn't really sorry. And again, it's not that I took that personal. That's part of business. I was lucky to get them back, right? That's like that time I got rolled in Mexico at the border. They took all my cash, and they were like, we could take everything. And I was like, oh shit. So I was lucky that Big D even gave that back. What I don't like is the way, again, he makes this aw shucks, I'm just a hardworking millionaire that has diarrhea on a jet plane, like everybody else. And it's just kind of gross and insincere, and a bunch of other things. Again, these are my opinions. These are my observations. I just want to point them out that maybe Big D isn't the person or persona that he portrays online. Some of that is like when he says buddy, you know, like he uses I hate to use the word ebonics, but it was a subject that was taught in college for a little bit. But that's just kind of gross. And then the other thing that was gross was when Base Dad was like, I'm half black, and so I vouch for you, and I don't think you're racist. And it's like, first of all, who made Base Dad on the Negro Society Club? If anybody should be on the Negro Society Club, it should be me. I'm blacker than he is. So, but anyways, I don't want to get into who's blacker than who's blacker than she is, and all that kind of stuff. It's just gross. Those are my opinions. Let's see. Back to Big D. He didn't keep his word. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, and then the other one was Big D got too big to manage the Facebook forum, the thread, whatever. I guess it's a forum on Facebook, the club. And I was posting some stuff up, and they get a little petty with those rules, like you got to put your name and the date, and you know, again, it's a very poor fraud prevention measure. I think it's dumb, but and Big D said that I didn't have to do that. That's the other thing. And then all of a sudden, Big D gets too busy that he can't vouch for me, that he can't, you know, honor my work or honor my contributions. And they ended up kicking me out of the forum. So after that, that's when I was like, I really didn't care, but I found it curious. Like, why would somebody be, whatever, that petty? And I was like, maybe it wasn't him. Maybe everything he says is honest, and you know, maybe he doesn't. He said something about the moderators control that, not him. And I was like, okay, like whatever. It wasn't a big deal. It's not like, you know, like I got blocked by PayPal or something like that. But I just thought it was curious and weird. And then when I did my critique, everything that I say in there is exactly what I observed, which was that he annoyed me. He's like, it's almost like he's trying to be the Disney of car audio. And the more you look into Disney, the more you realize it's an exploitive, basically pimp, and viciously petty and unprofessional, and that's what I'm seeing with Big D Wiz. I'm not trying to steer anybody away from Big D Wiz. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just simply exposing what I think are some dots that people aren't connecting. And when you see somebody like Harvey Weinstein, basically, Harvey Weinstein produced award-winning films. He did fabulous work, but there were some things that he did that were, let's just say, unprofessional. Okay, so, and that's how I feel about Derek, is that, and it shows up in this interview with him and Base Dad. One of the things that I find funny is that he calls it Robo Wars. Base Dad calls it the interview Robo Wars, and there's no war between Derek and I, and one of the things I found kind of gross that Derek did is, instead of saying, like, you know, Patrick needs to apologize and make up for the damage that he did, and maybe I'll take him back and maybe I'll review it. Fuck you, Derek. I don't need your shit. I don't need your fucking approval on product. Fuck you. The guys at Recoil know what I do, and they don't have to support it, but I'm valuable to them, and I do the work, and I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And so when a little measly cunt like you know, you need to apologize to me and my little buddy, what's his name, Hi-Fi Vega, for hurting our feelings and not, you know, we would have brought you on our podcast, but, you know, you said some things. It's like, shut the fuck up. Who put you in charge? That's really the takeaway that I got from the interview, was that these were two petty cunts trying to exact some sort of revenge, and then Base Dad, of course, is using Big D to get more viewers. and then they talk trash about me to get more viewers, which is exactly what they were accusing me of. I forget the name of it. There's a street name for it. If somebody could point that out, that'd be great. But I'm open to criticism. If I miss something, if I overlook something, if I'm wrong, please point it out. I don't want to be wrong. I want to be right, and that's what fuels my search in the truth in car audio. You know, as a young teen with just a skateboard and a bunch of equipment in my house, in my room at home, when I was living with my mom, I had a pretty badass system, and it was kind of lame when a salesman at a shop wouldn't sell me something because I owned a skateboard. It's like, fuck you. Who the fuck are you to say that I'm not worthy of buying a subwoofer? Like, fuck you. And that's the kind of snobbery that Derek promotes. And it's polarizing, and I think it goes against the community, and I think it goes against the well-being of what high-performance music reproduction is all about. It's about the music. It's about enjoying music and the ecstasy and the pleasure and the fun that is music. That's what I feel like Derek is doing, and that's marketing. That's what JL does. That's what Rockford does. They turn something that's very basic, which is basic electronics, into something that's exotic and rare, and it's not. And so then they get to charge a fee. You know, Derek is the same person he was 10 years ago. But now, if he wants to charge somebody $1,000, $5,000, or whatever it is, he feels that's his right, and it is. But I think it's funny the way that he's arguing over how much of, I'm a prostitute, of course, but I'm a $10,000 prostitute, or whatever he is. Okay, I'd rather just not be a prostitute. Rather, I'd rather be a slut. That's all. That's my opinion. That's my life mantra. Okay, but I don't know. I wanted to sit down and pick it apart, the video, but I thought that was kind of boring, and I got to pick up Sherry here from Ketamine, and so I was like, let me do this on the road. Let me just get this out of my system. There was a breakthrough that Sherry and I had in our relationship, and I had this breakthrough before in a seminar in Omega Vector, which was, let me see. I guess it's about expectations, and let me relate it to Big D, which was that my expectations are that somebody's going to be fair and all this kind of stuff, and that's not the case. People are not fair. People have their opinions. People have their bias, and for their reasons, and a lot of them are personal, and a lot of it has to do with finance, and that's my biggest complaint about the car audio industry. And that's true of like all industries, like all businesses. And that's what I realize, is that it's really about capitalism. Capitalism is unfettered capitalism leads to the destruction of virtually all the people in some form or another. And it robs society as a whole of technology and just nice things, right? Because you're too poor to participate. Right? You're not one of the chosen. You're not one of the few. And, because you're too poor to blah, 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 whatever it is. And really my fight is with, again, not capitalism in general, but just unregulated, unfettered capitalism. There was I don't know, it won't go anywhere. There's supposed to be a class action lawsuit about car audio companies posting numbers for amps and things like that. And a bunch of years ago, back in 2006, the car audio industry, and again, people, you look who's on the board of CEA ratings and who came up with the standards and all that kind of stuff. And so when they say it's a CEA rated, like there's a bunch of loopholes in that too. It's all kind of like bullshit. And most companies have given up on that stuff because it ends up just being marketing. And none of this stuff is for spaceships or aerospace or, whatever. So it's all considered low voltage, and it doesn't really have any like UL standards or anything like that. And so, again, car audio and the accessories and everything else associated with it is such a tiny drop in the bucket of CE in total. CE is consumer electronics as a market. It's I forget what it is. You can Google it and say, Google how big is the consumer electronics market, and that's everything from phones to PCs and everything in between, everything that's basically digital, everything with electronics in it. It's I think it's over a couple $100 million, or no, $100 billion or something like that, 700 billion or something crazy. But and then audio is a tiny fraction of that. So again, on a larger scale, all of this is dumb bullshit. And then even this argument, it's not even really an argument between me and Big D, is bullshit too. And that's why I think it's a rare thing that you even found my channel, that if you subscribe, good for you. I don't give a shit. That's for your benefit. That's not for my benefit. Again, I don't monetize this channel. This channel will not be monetized. I don't want to be a pet slave for BlackRock and Vanguard. No thanks. Big D seems to think, for him, that's a good thing. For, what's his name? EXO Contralto, or whatever the fuck his name is. And all the other weirdos that are they go on there and just, it's just mindless woofer garbage to entertain the inner 11-year-old in you. Go for it. That's not what I'm going for. I'm going for something much broader, much bigger, and much deeper. And so that's why I really don't, in the long run, this is just it's like a pimple on my fucking chode. You just pop it and it hurts for a little bit and it goes away. And that's to me, that's what Base Dad and Big D Wiz, Derek Williston are, is just a pimple on my chode. And, good for them. I'll, fucking make a little moment in time with this video, and it'll be super entertaining in the future. Just like when I went back and reviewed my critique of him. my critique and thoughts back then are more accurate than my vision now. Some of that may have to do with just when I purge, that was the other thing he commented on, was like, Patrick just goes on these rants, like they're not focused. It's like, bitch, that's my superpower. My superpower is ADHD. I'm neurodivergent. And I'm fine with that. It's okay with that. I've been able to support my family with that. Fuck off with your judgment about it. Somebody, I have all these conversations with people, these text conversations with people, customers and stuff like that. And it's funny, they were talking about like just, over the top too much. And I was like, technically it only takes one sperm to make a baby, but that's not how men do it. They kind of just shoot a big load and hope for the best. And and that's what I do with this information. There's tons of information. There's tons of ranting. There's tons of all the kind of that stuff. What's funny is when I rant, I feel like that's the most connected I am to the ether, to God, whatever you want to call it. And that's what I want to be a conduit for. I want to be a conduit for that energy, for that higher level, that higher vibration, whatever you want to call it, to you guys. Because nobody, like, you're not going to go to Best Buy and have this kind of conversation. And I want this to be a unique, special treasure that you find on the internet. And hopefully just stays forever, as long as, the servers stay up and everything like that. I think that would be a really great thing, like a memory book to sort of look back and reflect on, after we've all been enslaved and we all have like AIDS and all that kind of stuff in the future. But again, I just think it's funny. I popped the pimple. It's done. It's over. I don't care about it. And I want to just present, and that's why I think I did the link on the posts. You check out the posts. Some people ignore the posts. I don't know how to subscribe to the posts, so you got to figure that out. But I do make little posts, and one of them was talking about the video. I put a link to the video of the interview about Robo Wars and all that stuff with Base Dad, and you watch it. The rest of it is just kind of a waste and kind of just, blah, blah, blah. It's all just, I love you, Derek. And Derek's like, I love you, Base Dad. Let's suck each other's little wieners and, whatever. You want to suck each other's wieners, it's fine, fucking fine. I don't give a shit. But come on, babe. Sherry's here. So, I just wanted to point it out that they only talk from, like, I think it's 7 minutes and 30 seconds in on that third video. And I, of course, will watch the fourth video to see if there's any information. Really, there's nothing redeemable about the whole interview. And if you go back to the front of in the beginning where he talks about it, he's like, we're going to talk about Robot Underground, as if you don't have fucking access to me. So again, I give out my phone number. That's my personal cell phone number. If you want to play pranks on me, fucking go for it. I don't give a shit. I've done tens of thousands of transactions. I've helped hundreds of thousands of people. So, and I would love to see Derek get in my shoes and at least honor some of the work that I've done. That would be great. That would be the professional and considerate person that Derek claims to be, is to give me credit. And also say, if Patrick wants to call me a racist, that's his business. That has nothing to do with me. And again, I'm just pointing out his behavior. That's all. You can judge his behavior, not me. You're the viewer. You're the one that quote unquote counts. You're the one that counts to him. For me, I don't care if I got 10,000 or 100,000 subscribers. I'm going to make the same fucking video. These videos are more for me to get this out and also to make that connection. And you guys that text me daily that, you know, are on the, I guess, like where I share boobs and stuff like that in Instagram or whatever, you guys make that connection with me. And we basically have a long distance conversation where I try to make it safe for men, because men are under attack, but that's a whole other conversation. But anyway, I got to drive home. I love you guys. Watch Big D's interview. It's exciting. You won't want to miss a bit of it. But then also go back and watch the video I made, the critique of him originally. And again, it's spot on. I fucking nailed it that day. I was in the zone. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.